Hi everyone, my name is Connor O'Day, and today on the channel we are going to be having a pancake battle. As always, this is Recipes All Day with Dr. O'Day. A big shout out to one of my good friends, Liz Griffin, for designing me a logo for this channel. This was a Christmas present that Liz got me, and I really appreciate that. So with that, I've got two recipes coming up, and I'm excited to share them and let them go head to head, see which one is better. So today we've got a pancake recipe from one of my students in my intro class. This is Gabe Shipley, and Gabe is saying that supposedly this is something that they've been perfecting for quite a long time, and supposedly this is the best pancake recipe out there. And so I'm going to give that a shot. That is going head to head with a student in my statistical methods and psychology class, Liz Schremp, and we'll see how these two things stack up because Liz is also pretty confident that these are the fluffiest pancakes, the best pancakes on her end as well. So I am looking forward to trying these and we'll see what happens from here. Alright, so the first one we're going to be making here is Gabe Shipley's. The first thing we're going to do is put 1.5 cups of flour into the bowl here. And you'll notice that I don't do the scoop and sweep method. I just scoop, I throw it in, and that's how I bake. Things turn out well for me. So then we're going to put a tablespoon and then 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder in. That's 3.5 teaspoons if you want to do it that way. Then we're going to go ahead and throw a teaspoon of salt on top of that here. And again, I don't do any sweeping of the salt. I'm an estimator here when I cook. So the next thing we're going to throw a tablespoon of just normal white sugar on there. And then we're going to go ahead and mix this up. So mix all those dry ingredients together and we're going to throw 1 1/4 cups of milk on the top. So I have just put in a cup of milk there. I'm going to put in another 1/4 cup of milk on top of that. So we get that other 1/4 cup of milk on there. And then next we're going to put some butter. So we've got 3 tablespoons of butter going on to this. And we're going to melt that butter in the microwave. Then we're going to put an egg on top of that. You can notice I actually have an egg sitting at the top of my kitchen island here. I don't know what happened there. I set the egg there and it just cracked itself and has been sitting there and it's going to sit there through the rest of this video. So then we're going to go ahead and mix this thing up. And once we get that mixed up, once we get that all mixed together, we have this thing about ready to go. And so now I'm going to go ahead and set that off to the side, put it up there by that lonely cracked egg on my kitchen island here, and then we're going to pull out another bowl and we're going to start with Liz shrimp. So the first thing we're doing with Liz's recipe is we're going to throw 2 cups of all-purpose flour there on top. Again, I don't do the scoop and sweep. I just scoop and I estimate. We're going to throw a 1/4 cup of sugar on and then 4 teaspoons of baking powder, which is a tablespoon and a teaspoon here is what I'm doing. So we're going to put that baking powder on there. We're going to also add a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda. We're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of salt then on top of that. And then we're going to mix all those dry ingredients together. And once we get those dry ingredients mixed together, we're actually going to pull out a second bowl and we're going to mix the wet ingredients in this other bowl. So we're going to start here with actually 1 3/4 cup of milk once I get that other bowl out. So 1 3/4 cup of milk going into this other bowl, and make sure again you have some melted butter going in the microwave. So we're going to add a 1/4 cup, so 4 tablespoons of butter on top of that once we get that done. So I put those 4 tablespoons of butter in on top of that. Next, we're going to do 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. So that was kind of one difference. One difference is the amount of butter in these two recipes, but another is that vanilla extract. This one still also has 1 egg into it. So, kind of looking at these recipes, I'm kind of wondering if I might be, because I like unhealthy stuff, myself, I might be a little bit partial to this recipe being a little bit more on the unhealthy side, a little bit more sugar, a little bit more butter. Gabe, I'm sorry that it's already at a little bit of a disadvantage here, but again, I'm going to be open. to kind of figuring things out. And also my wife Jill is going to take a vote here later on. So then we're just going to fold that in. We're going to mix this all together. Try to mix as you're doing it. Clara's going to join me here because Clara has to be featured in all of these videos. She loves mixing. And so then we're just going to spoon this out onto, so I've just got a griddle going here. One of the things with a griddle is that pancakes don't ever look quite as good on a griddle, but we throw them on there. You can see I spilled all over the place here, and then flip them when they turn golden brown. When they're done enough for you, we're going to pull them out. I threw a little butter on top of each one. Threw some syrup on there. I ran out of my good syrup and I have just kind of crappy grocery store syrup right now. The first one I'm trying here is Gabe's recipe. We can see definite fluffiness, definite fluffiness. It's looking pretty darn good here, Gabe. Taking a bite here, and it was awesome. So this was a fantastic recipe. Very, very good pancakes. Now I'm trying Liz's recipe. So again, when we hold this up, when we take a look here, also pretty fluffy. Actually, maybe a little bit more dense, but still pretty fluffy. I'm taking a bite here, and this, holy crap. Liz, I think you've got it here. These are awesome. So with that, we're going to go ahead and say that Liz is the winner here. I do appreciate both of these. They were both fantastic. However, Liz is going to eke out the edge there just a little bit. Actually, my wife Jill, actually Gabe liked yours better. So it's kind of a 50-50 toss-up for me and my wife Jill here. So both of those, again, were absolutely fantastic. I suggest trying out both of these for yourself and let me know down in the comments if you preferred one over the other. So again, thanks for checking back into another episode of Recipes All Day with Dr. O'Day. If there's anything you'd like to see or any questions that you have, please let me know. Otherwise, make sure to hit that like and subscribe and let me know if you have any pancake recipes that you think are up there with the best.